November 2nd, 2025. The Golden State Warriors walk off the court in silence. The scoreboard in Indianapolis reads 114-109. The Indiana Pacers celebrate their first win of the season, while Golden State stands stunned, another late collapse staining their record. They had led by 11 with just over 6 minutes left, but turnovers, missed threes, and broken focus turned confidence into chaos. Stephen Curry, the face of the franchise, looked exhausted, not just physically, but mentally. For over a decade, he has been the engine, the heartbeat, the unshakable center of everything the Warriors are. But this night, even his brilliance couldn't save them. The Pacers, missing key players, played with hunger. Aaron Nesmith dropped a season-high 31, Pascal Siakam added 27, and Quentin Jackson, the unheralded guard, put up 25 and 10 assists. They were fearless. The Warriors were flat. Curry finished with 24 points, 8 for 23 from the field, and just 4 for 16 from deep. His shot, normally poetry in motion, looked rushed, tired, uncertain. After the game, his frustration was clear. "This is one of those look-in-the-mirror type games," he said. "There are parts of the game where I made it too hard on all of us, not getting organized, bad possessions, a lack of energy." Those words hit deep. They weren't aimed at teammates, coaches, or referees. They were aimed inward. Curry has built a legacy on accountability, not excuses. That's what makes him who he is. But this night revealed something bigger. This is not the same Warriors team the world once feared. The dynasty that once danced across NBA final stages has aged, fractured, and evolved. Klay Thompson, the other half of the Splash Brothers, is gone now, wearing a Mavericks jersey, chasing one last shot at glory elsewhere. The bond that defined an era is broken by time and business. Draymond Green remains, fiery and loyal, but older, slower, more reactive than ever. Around Curry are young faces, talented but inconsistent. Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody, they show flashes of brilliance, but flashes don't win championships. Consistency does. And that's what's missing. The Warriors once had rhythm, trust, identity. Now they're searching for it. In that fourth quarter against Indiana, you could see the cracks. Missed rotations. Hesitant drives. Miscommunication. Curry's voice echoed through the huddles, urging focus, demanding fight. But leadership can only carry so much when execution collapses. Golden State finished with 16 turnovers and just 5 points in the final 6 minutes. 5. For a team once defined by offensive perfection, that's alarming. The loss dropped them to 4-3 on the season, their second straight defeat after falling to Milwaukee. The headlines called it a collapse. But inside that locker room, it felt like a message. A reminder that the league no longer fears them. The mystique is fading. Curry knows Curry knows this better than anyone. His legacy is secure, but his hunger hasn't dimmed. What drives him now isn't another MVP or scoring title. It's the belief that he can still lead, still inspire, still prove that Golden State's heart beats as strong as ever. But without Klay, without that familiar chemistry, everything feels heavier. The shots feel harder. The court feels wider. The energy feels different. Still, Curry refuses to surrender to decline. "I've got to be better at being more decisive, more aggressive," he said after the game. "Not to shoot, but to play make and get everybody organized." That's leadership. That's ownership. But it's also a quiet admission that things have changed. The Warriors aren't the same machine anymore. They're a team in transition, stuck between eras. The veterans are fighting time, and the young guys are still learning how to win. Every possession now carries meaning. Every loss feels like a warning. The dynasty isn't gone, but it's fragile. For the first time in years, Steph Curry stands alone as the last true pillar of Golden State's greatness. No more Klay by his side to share the burden. No Kevin Durant to tilt the balance. Just Curry, Draymond, and a new generation trying to find their voice. And in that silence after the Pacers game, the truth was clear. This is no longer about defending a legacy. It's about redefining one. The Warriors can no longer rely on nostalgia. They have to evolve or fade away. The upcoming stretch. Against Phoenix, for Steph, leadership has always been about more than words. He leads by example, by energy, by faith, by work ethic. Even after games like this, he's the first in the gym the next morning, sweat pouring as he drills floaters and threes until muscle memory silences doubt. He knows the cameras won't be there. He doesn't care. Because legacy isn't built in highlights, it's built in silence. Still, there's an unspoken truth he can't escape. He's 37 now. The league is younger, faster, deeper. The NBA he helped shape no longer fears him the way it used to. It studies him, mimics him, and hunts him. Every young guard coming up, Tyrese Halliburton, Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, Scoot Henderson, they all grew up idolizing him, and now they're the ones trying to take his crown. Draymond, for his part, refuses to let the energy drop. In practice, he shouts louder, demands more. Sometimes that fire reignites the team, sometimes it burns bridges. His leadership style has always been chaotic balance, necessary, but unpredictable. And with Klay gone, Curry no longer has that calming, effortless shooting partner who once neutralized Draymond's volatility. The chemistry is different now. It's not bad, just unfamiliar. The motion offense that once flowed like water now sputters, hesitating between youth and experience. Steve Kerr knows it too. The system that once revolutionized basketball, pace, space, pass, move, no longer surprises anyone. Opponents know every read. They switch, they trap Curry high, they dare the others to beat them. And when shots stop falling, the Warriors' beautiful game turns into survival basketball. Kerr tries to adapt, mixing small ball with size, testing lineups, giving rookies more minutes. But that comes with risk, inconsistency, growing pains, miscommunication. Still, he trusts Curry to anchor the storm. Outside the locker room, the noise grows. Pundits question if Golden State should rebuild. Some say trade Draymond. Others argue to give the young core the keys. Social media fills with nostalgia clips of the old dynasty, the confetti, the trophies, the joy. Fans aren't ready to say goodbye, but reality creeps closer with every shaky loss. Curry feels that weight. He's never chased headlines, he's chased greatness. But he also knows the world measures greatness in wins. That's why every loss stings deeper now. When he looks around and sees new faces where his brothers once sat, he understands the cost of longevity. Time changes everything. Yet, instead of resisting it, he leans in. He mentors the young guys, teaching them how to prepare, how to focus, how to believe. In one quiet practice after the Pacers' loss, Curry gathers the team at midcourt. No shouting. Just steady words. "We don't rebuild here," he says. "We set standards. Every time we step on that floor, it means something. To this organization. To the fans. To us." The gym falls silent. For a moment, everyone feels it. The weight of the jersey, the pride in the name on the front. The Golden State Warriors might finally see one of their dream trade targets become available. But not because of anything they did. Nope, this time it's all about the meltdown happening in New Orleans. The Pelicans are off to a disastrous 0-5 start, and if things keep heading south, Golden State could suddenly be in prime position to make a serious move for Trey Murphy III. Let's rewind a bit. Over the summer, the Warriors reportedly made multiple inquiries about Murphy. They've admired his game for a while, a long, athletic 3-and-D wing who fits perfectly alongside Steph Curry and Draymond Green. But back then, the Pelicans wouldn't even take the call. They valued the 25-year-old too highly, especially after his breakout 2024 season where he averaged over 21 points a game. Fast forward to now, though, and the situation in New Orleans looks completely different. Despite getting 30 points off the bench from former Warrior Jordan Poole, the Pelicans still lost a heartbreaker to the Clippers on a Kawhi Leonard buzzer beater. That loss dropped them to the worst record in the Western Conference, with one of the league's lowest net ratings. The crazy part? The Pelicans can't even tank their way out of it. They already traded next year's first-round pick to Atlanta. That means their only real option to regain control might be to start flipping players for assets. And that's where Trey Murphy's name suddenly becomes relevant again. According to NBA insider Jake Fisher, both the Warriors and Spurs have shown serious interest in Murphy. He started the season slow, shooting just 36% from the field and 30% from deep, but he reminded everyone of his upside against the Clippers with 17 points, 6 assists, and 2 steals while hitting 5 threes. If New Orleans decides to shake things up, he could become one of the first players on the move. Now, here's where it gets interesting for Golden State. Any trade for Murphy would be expensive, both in salary and in value. The Pelicans would likely want Jonathan Kuminga or multiple draft picks in return. And right now, that's not an easy call. Kuminga has started the season on fire, showing growth on both ends of the floor and finally looking like the two-way forward the Warriors hoped he'd become. Trading him, even for a proven shooter like Murphy, would be a tough pill to swallow. On current form, it's not even clear the Warriors would make that swap straight up. Still, this is the NBA, and things change fast. If the Pelicans season keeps spiraling